Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shank. He decided to re-tee. That's a shank. Oh, man.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Two-Way Miss podcast. Thank you, as always, for joining us whenever, wherever you might be listening and hopefully watching. I'm going to plug it now. Click that subscribe button. It's free. It's big and red. You should just click on it. We're trying to get to 100, Banksy. We're trying to get there.
We'll get there.
37 more to go. It's
We'll get
nothing.
there.
It's nothing. All right. So, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. You'll see that we have, again, a third box on the screen. The lovely Mr. Hoover has joined us, fresh off 12 weeks of not moving his shoulder and getting ready to swing that golf club once again. How's it going, buddy? How you been? Thanks for coming back.
Good, how are you? Yeah, glad to be back.
You mentioned that it's a good chance for you to just talk golf with a bunch of people. And I had said that I kind of do the same thing, but I think I play golf with Banks, who lives in Pennsylvania, more than like the dads from the baseball team who live 15 minutes that way. And it's just funny that it never works out with them, yet I can go and find time to play golf with this loser, more times than just like going up the street. I don't know how that works out, but I guess I like him. I must like spending time with him or something like that.
It works out for me. That's the only thing that matters.
That's right.
As long as I'm happy.
Exactly. It's been my life goal since we met so many years ago. But we got some things to talk about, boys. Some weird stuff's been happening in the world of golf.
All over the place.
But before we talk about it, I guess I mentioned that you're just now ready to maybe start putting weight on your shoulder. What the hell, man? You play a decent amount of golf, and it must be really weird to not be able to do anything golf related for 15 weeks or however long it's been.
Yeah, I play a lot of golf. So, usually over the summer, it's 3, 4, 5 times a week, at least. And my last round was actually with Banksy. We played at Overlook back in November before my surgery. My surgery is November 20th, which sounds forever ago. But yeah, rotator cuff, labrum, some impingement work. They had to shave some bone off. So pretty much everything you could have done was done. Just happy to actually have my right arm out of a sling at this point, and can actually use it for some things. But yeah, week 13 post-surgery, and I'm just now getting to, use some weights, and I can do wall push-ups, but I have to have my feet close enough to the wall that, I'm not putting too much stress on my shoulder, but it's nice to at least have use of my right arm at this point.
Are you going to be like Henry Rowengartner in Rookie of the Year, where like you're going to like be hitting at 320 because your arm's going to like whip back and then release?
My surgeon is a member at the same club I'm a member at, and the last thing I said to him before he walked out of my pre-op room was like, "Hey doc, like an extra 10 or 15 off the team."
Yeah,
maybe?
right.
He said at least that much. So we'll see how true that becomes. But I'm thinking it'll probably be June until I'm cleared to actually take a full swing at a golf club. So 200 and whatever days that's going to end up being. Definitely the longest layoff I've had in 20 plus years of playing golf. And I couldn't imagine if I did this for a living. Like, I play golf for fun. Like, it's the thing I like to do the most. And it's killing me, to walk outside after leaving school one day and it's 55 outside and I can't go home and swing a golf club, no matter how bad I want to go out back and hit a few, out on the golf course. Just can't do it. Trying to follow the rules.
The sad thing is that like going 200 and whatever days without playing golf just sounds like a normal kind of year for me. It doesn't sound that out of the ordinary. It's very sad as I sit here semi-hosting a golf podcast, but that's been my life. Or how many years now, Banks? What did I get out like 3 times a couple of years ago?
Too many.
Someday. It's getting real close, man. I'm real close to that daycare payment being done and dropping some cash at that country club and just being like, you're going to see me a lot. So just get used to it.
Yeah, it's a nice place. I'm excited for you. I hope that's what ends up happening.
I can smell it almost. It's almost here.
You can smell the
June, whatever. The last daycare payment. Can't wait. It's going to be good times. I might FaceTime you as I walk in. I'm going to keep you on FaceTime the whole time, just like this. I'm just going to be like,
I hope you do.
We're walking in. Here we go.
Well, when is
That's-
prospective members day? We gotta.
I haven't
That-
seen one in a while, and they did a bunch of upgrades, so I'm curious to kind of go back
they took
and.
you off the mailing list.
No, I'm definitely still on it. I've definitely
We
gotten
did
a
that
few
3 years
things.
in a row, and
We
they're
did.
like, no, not this
Yeah,
guy.
too much mooching.
We've been down this road.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, one of the dads from my son's baseball team works for a golf architect. He's like a construction project manager for them, and he redid the course, like his company, and he was just down. Where was he? He was down in D.C. at Congressional doing work. Like his little company from Maryland was down there doing work. He did work at Inverness. Like goes all over the place. He's doing like one of the Southern Pines courses coming up soon. I was like, he likes golf, obviously. It's his kind of job, but he doesn't, he's like me. He's got 4 kids, all like most of which are under the age of 9, which is wild. But it was a cool little, he came in with like an Inverness sweatshirt on, and I was like, I don't know how you have that, but we need to talk about this because I've never seen anybody with that on who doesn't do this professionally. It's pretty funny.
Can I outdrive him?
Oh yeah. He's not very
all right.
good at it. He could
Okay.
build you
I
he could build you a green in your backyard, but he's not like a scratch
okay.
or
I was
anything like
getting
that.
jealous there for a second.
Don't worry, buddy.
Aren't you in the market for a green in your backyard?
I actually just had somebody come out and lay it out for me.
There
yesterday.
you go. Oh, it's
Yeah,
it's
so-
happening. It's like done.
So as long as I can trust this person, which I think I can, yeah. April, it'll be like a 2-day project.
Look at you.
So,
That's not the first
yeah.
thing you said when you came on. Like, how long has this been going on? You haven't talked about it once.
well, no, he only came out yesterday, and I don't know. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. He's done a couple, but I don't know. I get nervous because if it's not, I just want to make sure we're getting everything done right, and I'm making him show me pictures and drawings and all this stuff. So
I kind
I
of would
think I
have.
found. What's that?
I would have bet that you would have gotten one of those moving putting greens in your basement before getting something outside.
No.
You know, the ones that like
I've seen
undulate and
those.
like do, the
Yeah,
lines
yeah,
pop
I've
up
seen
and all
those.
that.
I've seen those. Yeah, I don't know. I want something outside. So I'm fingers crossed that everything goes well. He
you
seems
shoulda-
like he knows what he's
You
talking
should have got it
about.
built at the cottage. That way you can hit some, you're chipping down the field, and then you can turn around, work on your little chip shots around the putting green. Come on.
I could.
Your
Or I could
grandfather
just
would
walk
enjoy
out-
that.
Or I could just walk out my back door.
Yeah, you could do that too. That
And
works.
then hop right in the hot tub afterwards.
See, there you go.
I'm expecting a lot out of the short game next time we play. If you're getting a green in your
Oh,
backyard,
God, you wouldn't. You
The
know,
putting is what we need. That we need him to stop
can't-
burning every edge he looks at.
the wedges can't. I mean, it's got to get better, right? Like, it has to.
Something has to happen, right? Something.
Yeah, it has to.
All right. Let's get into whatever this
All
past
right.
week has been in golf. Nobody really cares that what's his name won Mexico, Knapp or whoever he is. Good for him. The first thing that we had on our list was shockingly, Talor Gooch has another stupid comment. I'm going to pull up the exact quote here so I don't misquote him and he can't get mad at me. So let's bring it up here. If Rory McIlroy goes and completes his Grand Slam without some of the best players in the world, there's just going to be an asterisk. It's just the reality. I think everybody wins whenever the majors figure out a way to get the best players in the world there. Talor Gooch, by Data Golf standings, is currently, where was he? 40th in the world. He is not, I believe, invited to the Masters at the moment because when's the last time he ever won anything? When was it? Like years ago? Did he win anything last year, the year before?
on tour, it's been he has one win. I know that in
Yeah.
120 something starts.
Okay. So obviously these comments are based around the notable live players. I'm leaving him out of the notable category because who gives a flying shit if Talor Gooch is in the golf tournament or not. But the notable ones, we'll call it Rahm, DJ, Cam Smith, P. Reed, DeChambeau. I'm sure there's a few more. Joaquin Neiman is in now. The Masters gave him some sort of international exemption. There might be one or two other live guys that you could include in that list. I certainly don't know what your guys' feelings is on this, but we'll get that in a second. But it's just sometimes golfers are so stupid and so out of touch with like reality.
It's a singular sport.
That it's shocking.
So why wouldn't those guys be there? They're
well, Rahm can be. He won, so obviously he gets to go back.
Rahm, Dustin Johnson
can go back. Yep, Patrick can go back.
These guys aren't going to not be there.
I think the only ones outside of like Cam Smith hasn't won, and technically I don't know if he's still in the top. What is it? Top what in the world get to go? Plus winners. I don't even know the actual top.
Is it top 50?
50 OWGR. That probably sounds about right. I think
right now, like 42 of the top 50 are in.
There's not a lot of them missing.
Yeah.
So I'll keep looking at this while we keep talking. But it's like you said, there's not a lot of these guys that are missing right now. And the real reason that he's making this comment is because a guy like him, who was just going to kind of loaf along on the PGA Tour and still maybe stay in the top 50 to 60 players in the world just by earning world golf ranking points from playing PGA Tour events, now cannot do that because Liv doesn't get OWGR points. And that's just kind of how it goes because they're not a real golf. They're not a real golf tournament or, golf league or whatever you want to call it. And it's one of those things where I'll never understand. It's just such a contrast. Like Rahm came out this week, had an interview with, I think, Marty Smith from ESPN, and just flat out said, somebody's paying me a lot of money to play less golf and be able to be at home more. And he's like, it's kind of a sweet deal, like if you think about it. And at least he's one of the few who are just being honest about, yeah, man, they gave me a pretty sweet deal and it was a lot of money. And like, I took it. And it is what it is. The fact that Talor Gooch is like sitting on some high horse about how he should be treated as a guy who has one PGA Tour win. It's just, how do you not go home after you say something like that and like look your wife or significant other in the eye and be like, man, that was really stupid, wasn't it? Like, how do you go home and just be like, yep, said what I had to say, babe. I'm really glad I got it out there. Like, I don't know what your guys' reaction was to this, but mine was just like, can we stop putting a microphone in front of this guy? Because like, who cares? Who cares? I don't know. Someone else give me something. Because like, I don't know. That was my first reaction, was like, why do we keep putting a microphone in front of this person?
So Rory talked today and finally answered a question about, and he gave him the benefit of the doubt, and he said that, that wasn't the full quote and everything else. At the same time, he made a really good point. Like you mentioned, Neiman, I think, got in to the Masters. Right. He got that invite.
Yep.
But he's been going and playing other events on other tours to try to, kind of, increase his standing in the eyes of the Masters committee, where Gooch hasn't done any of that. So Rory was giving him some compliments, but I think the number I heard last was like 12 of the live guys are in, which is close to 20% of their field, something like that.
Yeah. So I'm going through it. I was just looking. No Laying Up had a really good tweet. Here's the top 50 in data golf rankings with whoever is not currently eligible for the Masters in bold. There's 5 guys who currently aren't eligible out of this number: Bo Hostler, Talor Gooch, Christian Biesenhout, Rasmus Højgaard, and Steven Jaeger. And the comment afterwards, and with a straight face, Talor Gooch said this is going to have an asterisk on it. So like, Seb Straka is in. Cam Smith is at 44. Koepka's at 43. Let's see here. I'm just looking for other like live guys as I go through this. Dustin Johnson's at 28. DeChambeau's at 26. Let's see here. Neiman's at 18. He's in.
Where's Koepka?
He was at
he's
40 something. 43. He's in.
You have Phil and Sergio too. They aren't anywhere near that top 50, but they're in for life.
Yes, they're in for life. Yep. Rahm is at number 4. Let's see here. Hatton is at 11. You know, he's in. So it's like, who's missing out of that? DeChambeau. Let's see. Is he even on here? Did I miss him? Oh, there he is. 26. DeChambeau's there at 26. Obviously, we know Reed is in because of his win. So every notable person from Live,
so
is in.
So Gooch is. I think it's such a stupid comment. It'll just pass over and it'll just go away, because after reading that list and realizing who is in the tournament, I think it's just going to pass over because it's so stupid. What an idiot! Like it's not even worth. And if Rory goes on to win, the last thing anybody in the history of that tournament thinking down the road years and years after Rory would win, anyone's going to think, oh yeah, but there's an asterisk on it
because Talor Gooch said so.
Because Talor Gooch said so.
Yep.
So it's a worthless. It got a couple days of traction, but it's worthless. He's an idiot. That was
Hoover.
stupid.
What were some of your favorite tweets and like responses to this? Because I know you saw some.
Great. Somebody already went on to Gooch's Wikipedia page and put an asterisk next to his live wins and his one PGA Tour win, and then the footnote says Rory McIlroy was not in the event. I'm trying to think. There was a one where it was a Masters jacket, but instead of the Masters logo, it was just an asterisk there instead of the round like Masters logo on the
pretty
jacket.
good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
For me, it's just like he won, I think, 3 times in Live last year or the year before. I have a problem with his wins, but now the best players in the world aren't at the Masters. So does he really think that the top 48 or 54 guys in the world are all playing Live golf? Like, he can't honestly think that.
Yeah.
But now this is the same guy that when he was interviewed after that one Live event said that he doesn't think the Ryder Cup or President's Cup is any different than the atmosphere at that Live event. Like,
yeah, right.
I've been at a Live event live, and I've watched the Ryder Cup on TV, and the atmosphere of the Ryder Cup on TV is better than the atmosphere live at a Live event. Like,
right.
There's no comparison, and he thought there was. So
this has to revoke your microphone card. Like, nobody should be allowed to interview him for like 8 months. Like, sorry, Talor. There's a ban on you. We can't put you in our magazine or in our article because of how stupid.
Or they'll just go after him and, hey, let's see what else he'll say.
Yeah, right. Well, that's for sure. Why they are going to keep putting a microphone in his face. But
I think Liv plays this weekend too. I think it's this weekend, so he'll have another chance to follow up. And I'm sure the commentators all weekend, if for the 12 people that watch the coverage, I'm sometimes one of them, at least for a little bit on the weekend.
You're still watching it. Maybe we might have to talk about this more. You've been there now. You say you watch it. What do you have, the CW bookmarked or something? Like, what's going on here? You have the app? You have the CW app?
I usually have to say it into the remote because I forget what channel it's on. So I have to say the CW into the remote just to get there. But I did want to see Rahm, like his first, go around there. And it's not any different. Like I find myself watching it and not even halfway through, inevitably I think to myself, why am I watching this? Like it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter what's going on here.
The problem is I've pulled it up on YouTube a few times, and in a condensed screen, like a computer screen, that Technicolor scoreboard that they have up all the time takes up like a third of the screen. And I watch it on mute because I don't feel like listening to the announcers. They're terrible and they're just ass kissers, and like I don't need to hear them suck off Live guys all day long. but it's just like, why would I want to? And you can almost hear the music without the sound being on. You can hear the music in the background while this is going on, even while it's muted. And I'm just like, and I think I haven't seen Rahm yet. I almost don't want to. I just want to live with John Rahm as my Masters champion at Augusta, and I don't want to watch him anywhere else. Because we talked about this when he first went over. It's like, I just love John Rahm, and him doing this like sucked. Just because I loved watching him play golf, I loved it, and now I'm probably never going to watch him outside of 4 times a year. And it sucks because Live is a terrible product and nobody cares.
Listen, in the end, all this is going to get figured out, and there's going to be some type of merger. There's just no way that the PJ Tour is sustainable without all those guys in the field. So it's I don't know how it's going to happen or what the final details are.
Today, Piff made a huge investment in the AP Tour, right? In tennis. They're like a title sponsor now for every major. It's like this huge capital investment, very similar to, what they're talking about with this new PGA Tour stuff.
So speaking of Rahm and the Masters, real quick here, and this is just more of a opinion shout out. So John Rahm says that he has texted Tiger and Tiger's ignoring him. Okay. You have the Champions Dinner at Augusta coming up, being hosted by John Rahm. Does anybody not attend that dinner? Or once you're on the grounds of Augusta, it's all tradition, history, and gentlemen acting like gentlemen, and they have a cordial evening.
I think it's a cordial evening, but I think it's because guys are more afraid of Augusta than they are of any repercussions from Rahm or Live people or, anything like that. Like, they don't want to be in bad standing with Augusta. It seems to be that everybody's more afraid of them, than they are anything else.
I kind of feel the same way, but could you imagine looking down and Tiger's seat's empty in protest to Live?
Yeah, not a chance. I don't think that's happening. Well, speaking of more Live news, a ghost has reappeared from our golfing past. Anthony Kim is back, apparently. Another Letterman jacket clad advertisement went out on Twitter that Anthony Kim has signed with Live. I'm not sure why this is a bit for them, but just again, down the road of, God, you guys suck. Like, you're just the worst. And then like Banksy, you said, we got a video of him in some oversized jogger sweatpants and white t-shirt on the range at, this upcoming Live event, hitting some shots.
That's just his reintroduction after 12 years away from professional golf, and he's reintroducing himself into the professional world in a double XL t-shirt and capri sweatpants.
Yeah. My favorite thing was the video said to all the haters, and everyone's tweeting like, who hated Anthony Kim? He's like, everyone's like, we've wanted you back for 13 years. Like, no one's hated you. Like, I don't know what are you even talking about?
I don't know. Maybe that's the role he's going to play. He's going to play the villain. I don't know.
Didn't he?
Yeah, whatever a wild card
yeah.
is. I mean, that's what he is now. So I guess they just throw in a couple extra guys that don't play on a team. And what did he say? His goal is just to bust everybody's ass. That's what he said. So we'll see how that goes.
He's going to shoot 80.
I was about to say, what's the prediction for first round score here?
Well, I got to tell you, like, as somebody that's been on the Live grounds, those golf courses, I would put pretty good money on Banksy, like you playing those golf courses really well. Like, I don't have the length to play a golf course like those guys can play. You certainly do, but there's not, like, the rough might look nice on television, but it is not rough. Like, it's a nicely manicured lawn is
Yeah.
really when they miss the fairway, it's not a struggle to get it out from anywhere. So like I don't know if they do that on purpose, to make the scores look a little bit better or to make the play seem a little bit better. But even being there, like they didn't play the back tee on a lot of holes. Like there were holes where there were tees at that DC course that they could have played that were 20 yards behind where they were playing. And it just, the rough is shaved down. Yeah, I don't know that the score's gonna be that high because I don't know if it can be that high.
Isn't that something? That's yeah, that's right. You were on the ground. So yeah, they have to. I mean, of course, I guess. Yeah, we just want birdies, and
Right. They want to put the numbers up on the website and all that crap that these guys are shooting 12 under rounds and all this other garbage. But I don't know, man. Like we haven't. He chose, like, I know he got hurt a little bit, right? It was initially he got hurt and then he chose to step away because of some insurance policy that was going to pay him out a certain amount of money if he didn't play golf for a certain amount of time. Is that the gist of it? As I understand
that's
it.
the gist. And I'll be curious. I mean, he, another one of his lines is, I'll tell my story when it's time. I'll be curious to hear the back end of all that to see if it's super interesting, or it could just be exactly what you just said. And it's
right. And now he's getting
like,
paid. He's
okay.
getting paid enough by Liv that he doesn't have to not play because he's getting that money either way.
Well, I think that policy expired. Yeah, it expired.
Is it over now?
I
thought it was still going, and a part of him deciding was like if he like to take the money on Liv was like to essentially supplement that him coming back to professional golf and that insurance policy kind of being voided.
Okay. Yeah, could be.
I don't know. Again, he probably
I don't remember. Like I know he's a fan favorite. Like did he win anything? I can't remember. I mean, I know it's big talk that he's back and yada yada yada. Like I know he had a big Ryder Cup against singles matches against Sergio, and I know people liked him, but did he do anything?
3-time PGA Tour winner.
Okay.
His best full season in 2008. Finished 6th on the money list, 4th in FedEx Cup. Career high 8 top 10s, including 6 top 3s.
Okay.
And then obviously that Ryder Cup, a President's Cup. Let's see here. Wachovia Championship. PGA Tour tournament at AT&T National. Ryder Cup, President's Cup. Shell Houston Open. So yeah, not like a laundry list of fantastic PGA Tour stops there for Mr. Kim. Yeah. But it really was right, the Ryder Cup, the belt buckles, like he was just a fan favorite. He wasn't lighting the tour on fire. Like I said, he had one good year. But outside of that, he really wasn't lighting the tour on fire for, an extended period of time.
Okay.
So who the hell knows? He could be fine. He could be terrible. Like, again, have fun at Live. It could have been a cool story that people would have paid attention to, and now you're going to Live, and nobody's going to care next week because that's where things go to die. It's the Live
Sounds like
tour.
you're not over this whole Live thing yet, Regz.
It's just mind-blowing to me that you can have that much money and still F it up this badly. Like if someone told you we have an unlimited budget to make this the best possible television entertainment product in the world, and someone was like, they put that into the world and were like, nailed it, got it, like totally did it, guys. Good job, us. Let's pat ourselves on the back.
Oh, and they do. They pat themselves on the back quite a bit.
I'm sure. It's part of their daily ritual.
Like, it was kind of disappointing that a couple weeks ago or whenever they played in Vegas, I guess it was the Super Bowl weekend, like at one point that leaderboard was Rahm, Dustin Johnson, Tyrrell Hatton, Cam Smith. And like you sit there and I want to see those guys at the Waste Management, or at least a handful of those guys there. But and that, I think, for me now is the disappointing part, with just losing that. And you guys have already talked about this on previous pods, but like just losing the name of John Rahm and having him go there, and it's there's a little bit more draw, I guess, but it all comes back to they're just playing for monopoly money, basically. I mean, it's a game, and there's nothing really coming from that at all for those guys.
And it's like you said, it's like, and the courses are set up easy, and they're not going to the hardest places, and they're only playing 3 rounds, and there's no cut, and like all these things. It's just purely incentivized for people to play mediocre and make a lot of money. And it's like you said, how can that be a leaderboard of golf? Like, where golf is this singularly focused, like, star powered sport. No one cares of the guys outside of those top 15 guys. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And that's what the top 10 of your leaderboard looks like. And no one watched it, and no one bothered. And it's like, again, you've been handed this platinum spoon, and you just like, you fumbled it. They just did a terrible job with all of it. And it's just, and now some of my favorite golfers are there. And it's like, it's the worst, because I just won't watch them. I just am not going to put myself through it.
Yeah, I mean, I like watching Hatton. Like, he was one of my guys that I like to follow along and toward, just to see the volatility of what was going to happen with him. Like, he'll hole out for eagle, and then the next hole he'll make an 8 and break a club and fire his caddy, and that's just his experience. And now that's gone for me. Like, it's just gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think about it too much, but when I do think about it, like, it irks me. Because I really do. Like, I really do just like put it outside my mind. I don't like, it doesn't exist until I see like a tweet about it, or somebody's, is talking about it. And then it just reminds me, oh yeah, Dustin Johnson, Rahm, Cam Smith, even DeChambeau. Like, I know like he's a tool, but like, at least he was something. Like, it was like, you have WWE with no heels. Like, you're just like, it's just a bunch of nothing. And it's just such a terrible product. And it's like, it just irks me. It gets to me every time that we have to like put up with this garbage, just because some Saudi government official decided that golf was going to be their way to talk to more CEOs of large companies. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think DJ's almost the forgotten person in this, because he was one of the first to go, and he's just kind of faded away. I mean, when I turn it on now, I'm turning it on to watch Hatton and Rahm and Cam Smith. Like, DJ's kind of forgotten in that sense.
I mean, yeah, we haven't even talked about Koepka, who literally won a major last year.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, that guy should be talked about with one of the greatest major players in the history of the sport. And you saw it happen this year. He literally came back from LIV and won a major. Something we talked about on this pod. Like, I didn't think it would happen. I didn't think those guys would have the skill carryover. Like, when you go and play non-competitive things, it's very hard to pick it back up when it's like the real deal. And he did it. And a month later, we were just like, oh, what's Brooks Koepka? Like, who cares what Brooks Koepka is doing now? Because he's doing nothing, and he's doing nothing that matters. And he came to the next one and was a no-show. And like, that's how it goes, man. It's just, those guys are just going there to die until whatever this investment is figured out.
DJ's been winning. Has he won? Has he been?
He's won a couple LIV
recently?
things, hasn't he? I don't know recently, but he's won a few of them.
Because he really fell off the face of the earth. Kind of like Hoover said, he wasn't playing very good golf. Now it seems like he's playing, I mean, at least as decent as you can in that format, in that environment. So, yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to see him play well next time we see him. And I think Koepka, the thing with Koepka is he's got, how many majors does he have? 5?
Yeah.
He probably has 10 good years left. I mean, if this, is he going to be the LIV guy with 8, 9, 10 majors? I don't know. Does that change people's view of him, his perspective? Are we going to see I just there just has to be a way that all these guys get back on the same golf course again, other than majors. Because yeah, I haven't seen Dustin Johnson hit a golf shot in I don't know like a couple years now,
Yeah.
and even even in the major coverage, I feel like they're not showing those guys, right? Like, did you see? Unless obviously, if you're at the top of the
Yeah,
leaderboard,
right.
did
They
you
gotta
see
be.
most of those? Did you see any of those guys hit any shots really last year?
I mean, again, if you tried to tell me Cam Smith was at any major, I would have forgotten. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Don't remember. Which is a shame. He came off like winning one and being a runner up at another, like in back to back majors. And you're like, well, this guy's like gonna barnstorm this next year after
Yeah.
that Open. And he was gone. Poof. Just gone. And that was it. It sucks, and the problem is that the regulators are like really on this one. Like, tennis just kind of snuck under it. You know what I mean? They didn't make a big deal out of it. They didn't make this whole CNBC, like, we have this framework agreement, all this stuff. And like tennis just, right, this investment slid right through, right under the radar. It's not going to be the same in golf, man. It's just not. Like, you already got reports that Saudi Arabia is like saying that they can throw consultants of theirs in Saudi Arabian prison for 20 years. Because if they cooperate with US government officials in this like probe into this merger, like, that's where we're at. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you heard, but like, the US government doesn't take like a short amount of time to do things. And especially if they don't like you, like, this could drag out for who the hell knows how long before anybody would approve it to happen. And now that the PGA Tour is getting this investment from that SSG group, like, the urgency is gone. The urgency is gone outside of this player thing and getting the best players back together. The urgency from a financial perspective is gone.
Right.
And I don't know how this gets done quickly. I'd even say if you gave me like an over under of 3 years, I might take over.
Yeah, I could see that. Which is sad.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate.
it is. It is sad. All right. Well, maybe to cheer ourselves up, we talked about this before we started, and I admittedly didn't watch any of it, but there was another match that happened. I will say I do enjoy that they're doing night golf. I think it's pretty cool. I think the night golf aspect is a pretty cool aspect. I think it's good that they're just like doing something different just right off the bat. And I do just enjoy kind of watching like the golf ball sail into the lights and like down the fairway and stuff like that. But it was Max Homa, Lexi Thompson, Rose Zhang, right? Is that her? Why can't I remember Rose's last name?
Yeah.
Is that her last name?
Yeah.
And Rory. They were all playing individually, correct? This wasn't like a team thing?
Yeah. Right. No teams.
Right.
No teams. Just straight up skins.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys watched a little bit of this. You got to give us your thoughts, insights. How do we feel about it? There's been what? 1, 2, 3, at least 4 of these things, right? 4 of these matches that have happened already. What do we think of this one? I heard from looking at Twitter, things like that after the fact, everyone really enjoyed the man-woman kind of mix. Like, they thought it was good to have a new mix of players in there. So what did you guys think?
Well, first of all, I'll give us credit because we've been saying that for years to find ways to combine men and the women playing together. And it was simple. They played the same par 3 yardages, and the women played forward tees for like the par 4s and par 5s,
Mhm.
but it worked out seamlessly. And that was that was neat to watch their interaction and see them play with each other. It's nice when players play well. Like some of the matches that we've seen, like
Yeah, right.
guys
Yeah.
have played like shit.
Yeah.
it was nice seeing like Rory played well. Rose can play. Homa's just a solid player, and then it was it was a little comical at times watching Lexi Thompson play because she was awful, just awful. I don't know if she hit the center of the club face one time in the shots that I've seen, and then you couple that with like shot tracer, and she's just slapping the ball around. She looked awful. I don't know how to really elaborate much more on that. She was terrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, like you said, it was nice to see them playing pretty good golf for the most part. Like I think Rory birdied the second hole or the first hole, and he actually made a comment that might be his first birdie he's made on the match, and this is his second one. I think the last time he played, he did not play well at all. The only thing I said was I think what kills an event like that is the downtime when you're trying to run it live, and I think there is a kind of cool aspect to it being live, and of course night golf, but if you could get rid of some of that downtime, I think it would be a much more watchable product. And I like Charles Barkley a lot. Like I do. And I think he adds a little bit of something to the broadcast, but there's only so much he can even interject in those moments. You can only interview the players so much. One thing I missed this year, they didn't really go through the players' thought process as much. I like to hear what they're thinking about, like, okay, well, this is a downhill lie. I have this, I'm going to hit this club. This is why I'm going to hit this club. There just wasn't as much of that this year. I feel like they were forcing the issue a little bit more on like the trash talk, if you want to call it that, between the players and things. But, a guy like Homa, seems tailor-made for an event like that. Like he's pretty quick with the comments. He 3-putted from like 15 feet and made a comment about like he can't believe his mom's going to watch him 3-putt from 15 feet on TV, something like that. So, it was fine to sit there and watch on a Monday night when nothing else was on. And, but again, if they could edit it down a little bit and give me a 2-hour window where I know it's going to start at 8 and be done at 10, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. They're just everyone's been dying for so long to get people mic'd up and like stuff be live and real, and like they're doing these walk and talks now and PGA Tour events and things like that. And for this kind of thing, I think you're right. I think we saw it with like the Tiger and Phil thing, even when they had Brady and Rogers. Like there was just a lot of like awkwardness and like weird. Like these guys don't sit there and talk the whole time. Like we've been in golf carts together. Fairbanks and I have known each other for 18 years almost. And like there are times we're sitting in the golf cart and it's just silent for a minute because it's just like, we're cool, man. We're just enjoying being here. Like it's like we're having a great time. Nothing's wrong. We're just moving on to the next thing, and we'll talk about it when we get there. And it's
unless the group in front of us is slow.
Well, then of course you'll never shut up, which will be that's perfect TV if that's the case. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like you could do that with one of your best friends and you might go a minute and a half without saying a word. Like nothing's wrong. You're not mad. You're like, it's just how it goes on a golf course sometimes. And it's just, you're right. Trying to sit here quietly. Yeah. Trying to fill it with like these people who don't do this for a living is always tough. So I think you're right. I think there's plenty of chance to. It was like the whole big deal was like, it's live. We're going to have these guys on microphones the whole time. Like, I think that's kind of worn off. I would probably tend to think most people are like, just like you said, give me that window. It's starting now. It's ending now. It's going to be tight. It's going to be put together well. It's going to show me every single golf shot. There's not going to be a ton of fluff. There's still going to be some funny parts, that they can edit in and out. Barkley can still get his zingers in. And it's a little surprising to me to hear that like they didn't talk through the golf shots. I agree with you. When I've watched some of these, the best thing is like when they're just like the announcers shut up and the guys just talk through what they're doing. Like it's this kind of shot. When I usually have this kind of shot, like here's my first thought. And like if that doesn't work, then I'm moving to this thing. And then I'm trying to hit the club this way because when it comes out of this kind of sand, like it does this, or when it's on this kind of lie. I tend to have this miss, so I'm trying to fight this. And it's just like, that's the stuff that's crazy
I would've loved to
fascinating.
hear Lexi's insight on how to hit a golf shot after watching that.
Uh,
It
know
was
if you were
so
watching
it
when
was so bad.
I think the most entertaining hole was the one club hole.
yeah.
Rory ended up taking, I think, a 5-wood, and he had like 175, and like he out loud was like, "Oh, this is a terrible number."
Yeah.
And he had to hit like a 50-yard cut, and he
Yeah.
got it pin high, which is incredible control to be able to do that, and it just missed the green to the right side, but throw 3 or 4 holes in like that.
Yeah.
Where they're playing a one clubber for, make them do it on a par 3 and a par 5 and a par 4. Something else.
Or play with each other's clubs if they switch bags.
That's a great idea. I like that. Yeah, I think I'm hopeful that they're learning stuff from this. Like, this is almost like season 1 of a TV show. Like, I'm hoping there's stuff they're learning along the way. I think this is the first women and men one, right? Is that correct? Have they done another one? I don't think so. Yeah.
I think this
Okay.
is the first one. Yeah, I think they're on the right track. They're getting better. I think Hoover makes a perfect point. 100%. They should have it condensed, throw in all the best features. And you know what? Honestly, set up the course as easy as possible. Like, just let these folks go out and just fire at flags, put hole-in-one pins out. Like, who knows? Just make it as fun as possible. I think it was funny. They're playing for charity, which is a great cause. But I'm thinking, like, shit, these women are playing for more money for these charities than what they get out on their weekly tournaments.
Yeah, Rose might have been making more NIL money than she's been making on LPG.
Yeah, really. Hey, she's a baller, man. She
can
play.
play
Says everything straight. Yeah, she says everything straight.
I think they said she was getting on an airplane to go. She had like a final the next day at like 9 a.m. Like, she's still taking finals.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
she was
crazy.
Big on like school and classes and like, nope.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, but they had DJ Khaled play Charles Barkley in a par 3 contest.
I saw tweets about this, and I was like, oh my God.
So the most intriguing tweet was, and I don't even know who said it, but they swore that they were being serious. Apparently, DJ Khaled showed up thinking he was actually playing in the match, like the real thing, and had to be told that he was only playing the par 3 against Barkley.
Against Charles.
And the end of the tweet said, "I wish I was kidding." So to me, it came off and that I was like, yeah, I could definitely see him showing up, rolling in there.
That should have been the first 5 minutes of the broadcast. Was a camera on him and being like, him looking around like, where's Max and where's Rory? Like, what's going on here? Why am I not on the big course? Like, what's going on?
Let's do this.
That would have been hilarious.
Wow.
Which brings me to, and I've thought about this more than I should, as just a grown man sitting at home. I think there needs to be a streaming channel dedicated to a regular person trying to do what these guys do. So, like, a regular person in the Olympics, there should be one lane in the pool of just a random person swimming so we can compare them to what these athletes do. Because when you watch 8 Olympic swimmers go at it, like, they all are, you're like, okay, well, they're all good, I guess.
Yeah, right.
Throw you in the pool in lane 9 and have you swim against those people so we can see how good they are. Like, give me the same thing on a golf course. Put a 5 handicap out there and give him his own streaming channel and a caddy, and here's how this guy would really play. That's kind of where.
And then they can side by side, like the Rich Eisen 40 times, right? They can, like,
yes,
oh my
absolutely.
God.
Here's where the
That would
5
be
handicap
ridiculous.
tee shot went, and here's where everybody else's went.
Oh my.
Oh my
gosh.
God, that just reminded me that, like, every so often there's like a Ugandan swimmer who's in a lane, like, they've been in a pool 3 times in their whole life, but they qualified for the Olympic team because there are no other swimmers from that country. And like, that's what it reminds me of. Like, everyone's
gosh,
done
they're-
and they're still showing them, like, going back and forth 10 minutes later.
It's,
That'd be
Philip
great.
Seymour Hoffman and Along Came Polly playing basketball.
Make it rain.
that's that's. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. Listen, I don't know if I could. I don't know if I'd beat her, but on that particular day, I'm telling you, Lexi was bad.
The funny thing is, she would kick your
I'd do
ass
it.
2 ways to Sunday.
Think so? 12 holes, as bad as she played.
Yes.
I don't.
Hoover,
I don't
tell
know.
me I'm wrong.
I don't know. I could part around there.
I saw her play that night as well, and it would have been
So
closer
bad.
than the experts think, as has been said before. I think it would have been pretty close.
Like you could
And
hear
I've seen that guy that we're on the pod with right now playing some pretty good golf. Like I know what he can do.
on my best day against her worst day.
All right, maybe.
Right, just like it was on. I watched her shot. I don't know. I got a chance. I'm giving myself a chance.
Hey, let's reach out to her.
She was
Maybe we
awful.
can set this up. Overlook it is. We'll go out early. We'll get her
Oh,
on the
sure
same
she watches
course.
This episode, she'll be
Bring-
more than happy to join us. Yeah. After all.
bring her to Overlook. On her
She
worst,
has no chance. Yeah.
on her worst day, the exact where she was hitting the ball, you take those shots to Overlook. It's
Not
it's
a
done.
chance.
It's over.
Not a chance.
It's done.
I've lived that life at Overlook where I think I just missed the fairway and then I'm behind 14 different trees.
Yep. On
Yeah,
a route.
yeah. That's been my whole life at that place, unfortunately. But
Maybe she was nervous, but she was awful.
that's really funny. That's really funny.
Like even listening to the ball come off the club, you could tell me like, nope, she just healed that. she just hit that super thin.
That's really funny.
Whatever. Hey, speaking of Overlook, are we ending the show here?
Yes,
Give a little
that was the last thing.
Overlook update. So our grounds crew is just doing some awesome things out of the course. We're thinning out trees. The course is more playable, getting more sunlight, less bare spots. But sure enough, we take a tree down that is not on anybody's property. The tree is on the golf course property. Take the tree down. The tree was directly over the green. So obviously we need more light on that green.
Which
the
number?
root system was getting number 11.
Okay.
Short par 4. There was a big pine tree to the left, just off the green. Roots coming out. It wasn't doing anything to help any golfers if your ball gets up there. Pull that tree down. For the last 3 days, we've had a house off the golf course losing their minds that we took this tree down, to the extent of emailing the township, emailing the board of governors, the commissioners, emailing arborist clubs like the Lancaster Arborist Club, and just completely trying to demolish the golf course and why they would take this tree down. And it's just one of those things.
What was it doing for them?
I don't know. Maybe you could see it out their back window. Maybe I don't know. But the fact that somebody has that much time,
Well,
in
yeah,
their day,
that might say it right
to-
there, right? That if you got this much time,
sound an alarm about a tree that was detrimental to the golf course, like wasn't adding, it was hurting the golf course more than helping the golf course. Just that's what we've been dealing with the last 3 days.
how do you deal with that? Let's dive into a little deeper.
Well,
What's the next
thankfully,
step after you get this email?
I say the township manager stop answering the phone. Like, no, this case is closed. Like, we trust our superintendent, we trust our grounds crew. It creates more playability, more airflow, and gets the shade off the green. Case closed.
It's our
Don't-
fucking
don't
tree.
call me
Period.
again.
Like send email.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't handle it with the couth that it's probably being handled with. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know what the end outcome is. Thankfully, at this point, it's still a little bit above my pay grade.
Yeah,
So
right.
I don't have to deal with it directly. But just out of nowhere, like you're just trying to get ready for the season. You're trying to do good things, and this is the shit that we've heard for the last 3 days,
That's hilarious.
blasting our grounds crew for doing what they're literally trained to do and keeping the golf course in good shape and playable shape. It's just
You should have put it in their front yard and been like, here you go. You can have this now.
We should have dropped it
Yeah.
in their yard.
Yep.
Right?
Just been like, here you go. You can figure it out, but like, here's your tree.
You
That's
you
hilarious.
Just have those moments you just want to
Have the kids been back?
Shut up. The sign has not come back, so the kids haven't been over to Nanny and Poppy's house recently. Yeah, that's that sign hasn't been back. That was good though, and that one I can understand. There used to be a sign behind the tee box on the same hole actually that did it flat out say no peeing, children are close by or something.
It was something like that. Yeah.
Like as people would pee in the bushes
Yeah,
behind the tee
right.
box, and it's literally like against these people's houses. And there was a sign up for a couple years, no peeing, children close by or something. So
Good to know.
that one I can understand.
No, I meant the that's funny, but also the sand trap kids. Have any other kids been back from the neighborhood?
Oh, that's not the sign you were talking about?
No,
What sign are
we
you
haven't
talking
talked about that before. I said, were the kids back? The kids from the bunker.
We're always kicking kids off the course that just try and walk on. They think they can, like, no, nobody's looking. We're gonna go play a few holes while other play is still on the golf course, and maybe they won't notice us. Yeah, kids are great. Yeah, yeah, they're so smart.
All right, man. We got 10 days till we're going to be together playing golf.
The match.
It's getting close.
How many strokes?
I'm not changing what I said.
How many strokes?
The fact that Hoover isn't defending me and thinks that I'm some better golfer than I am is absurd.
So
Hoover's coming to document this.
I know, but I'm just saying the fact that someone would like take your side in this is absurd.
I've seen you at a golf course. I haven't seen you play golf.
There you go. It's
it's
atrocious.
Well, I don't know that, but I did hear that if somebody in this chat shoots 75, he was feeling pretty confident about those 25 strokes.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah. It was me. I'll say it. If I shoot 75 or better, you don't have a chance.
If I can hit something that starts with a 9, I'd be extremely pleased with myself. Like over the moon pleased with myself.
I think we'll get it done. I'll be on Team Regz that day, and because my victories against him at Overlook are 0 at this point, I think. So maybe I can just at least be a part of a winning team.
Just don't let me take the driver out of the bag. Make sure I leave it in the bag all day.
I'm gonna make fun of you
I don't care.
every hole.
3 wood everywhere.
And are we playing real? Are we playing real golf? Like you're gonna count every stroke?
Yes, I will play real golf.
Okay.
I'm recording. I'm just gonna say, well, it looks like a driver to me, even if it is a 3. I'm gonna say, here's Regz with his driver out.
I'm using one of those old TaylorMade mini drivers, is what I'll call it.
Yeah, he probably hits his 3 wood further than I hit my driver. So
he hits his 3 wood really far. It's my 3. I might.
It was.
I want that back.
No. This is what's that?
Told you last week I want it back.
Statute of limitations on that one, I think, is over. It's probably close to like a decade. You gave me that club. Yeah, I think What did I hit?
You're coming in having played no golf.
I have been to I will go to the driving range between now and then again, and that will have been 2 times I've been to the driving range.
Are you going to get there early that day and hit balls? Are you rolling onto the first tee?
I'm going to have to do something. Yes. We're going to have to at least loosen the body up just a touch. But
I'm not hitting any balls. I'm going right to the first tee.
According to the track man on the driving range I was on, I was hitting the 3 wood 280.
Yeah. Those are all juiced by about 30 yards.
Probably, but I mean, it made me feel good.
All right.
I think I had my 3-wood longer than 250. Probably, it's probably closer to like 270.
I'm just gonna talk shit the whole time. Whatever you say, I'm gonna come back with
Hoover,
something.
I just need I need some misses. I just need a couple misses that make him upset. And then the lip outs will start and the bad wedge shots, and we'll just kind of plod along. I usually don't talk shit to Banks. I don't talk shit ever. I'm on Team Banks. Like, I want him to shoot the lowest number possible when I'm with him, because I just enjoy watching him shit on golf courses. Like, it's great because I can't do it. So I'd rather watch my buddy play well. This time I'm going to be like, ooh, yeah? What's going on there, pal? There's going to be a little bit of stuff going on. There's going to be some stuff going on this time.
I think the wedges are where you have to make your inroads there with from what I've seen, because his miss at overlook is far enough to the side. It's a wide open shot. Like, I go there and I hope to keep it within 5 of him if I play him at overlook. That's my goal. Like, if he comes to my club, I know I have at least an outside shot. You know, we've had some pretty good matches there at Hershey, but yeah, like overlook, I'm hoping to keep it within. If I keep it within 5 of him there, I feel like I've had a good day.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Michigan Josh, and
that's right.
He'll be there.
It's going to be something, man. It's going to be something.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's kind of going to be torture for me not being able to hit a golf shot.
Yeah, I didn't know about your injury, but I appreciate you helping us out.
I'm willing to put myself through it for the pod here. So
we always knew you were a good supporter, so we appreciate you.
Yeah. Is that next weekend already?
Yeah, man.
Is that when that is? Oh my God. Okay.
If you told me the right date, yeah.
Yeah, I think I did.
I will. Yes, I will get to a driving range before then. I will say I was hitting all my other clubs well for me.
Okay.
No big big right misses. No really thinning. I've been thinning, like, that's been my miss over the past few years, but no, it wasn't happening. I went to that. Here's what I'm gonna tell myself to, like, give myself some confidence. I went and I played golf at Citizens Bank Park at the Philly Stadium for that upper deck golf. My brother and I beat my brother that day, and I was hitting the ball pretty good with those old school they had like old Tiger Woods irons. It was hilarious. I loved it. It was sweet. But into those stupid shaved greens, I got some confidence back, buddy. I got some stuff. It's in there.
Good.
I know it's deep in there, but
bring it with
just
you.
mind those lip outs and those missed greens, man. Just be careful.
Yeah, so we'll have one more podcast to talk about.
That's right. That's going to be the next one, the preview. We're going to preview the match of the two of us. Oh man, it's going to be a good time. All right, boys. Well, hey, this was a blast. Hoover, appreciate you coming back, man. So look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to preview it next week, and then we're going to have you back on for the next one so you can give everyone the behind the scenes look at what it was. We won't tell anybody what happened. I think that's a key, because we'll have to get the YouTube video up so people can watch it, and then we can discuss what happened. But you can give us a little behind the scenes of being that fly on the wall for what went on.
I'm happy to join you guys whenever you whenever you have me.
Fantastic.
I enjoy this one.
That'll be great. All right, boys. Appreciate you. Everyone out there, thank you so much for watching, listening. Every podcast that we do goes up on YouTube. Just search the Two Way Miss Podcast on YouTube. Click that red subscribe button. It really helps us out. Leave a like, leave a comment. We answer every comment. We appreciate everyone who's been joining us on this YouTube journey so far. We're up to about 63 subscribers. We're trying. Our goal this year is to hit 100. We had a goal last year to get over 50. We did that. The goal this year is to get up over 100. So if you can help us do that, it's free. Doesn't take any time out of your day. And every podcast, not only this one, but also our Fixated podcast, goes up on YouTube. You can see our beautiful faces. If you're more of the listening type, we are everywhere you get your podcast: Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, all the good stuff. Anywhere you get your podcast, just search the Two Way Miss. You will find us. Follow us, subscribe, leave a rating. All that stuff helps us get noticed by more people. Whatever you can do there, we appreciate it. You can follow us on Instagram at B&B Podcast. You can follow that guy, Mr. Fairbanks, at FairbanksC23 on Instagram. You can follow me at Big Regz with the Z on Twitter. Hoover, where you're at? Instagram, Twitter, what are you doing?
I'm on both, but I'm new to Instagram. I just got on Instagram because of this guy telling me he wanted to send me golf stuff. So that's pretty much all I do on there. But I don't need to share any. I mean, nobody wants to follow me.
That's all right. Once he becomes our film guy for this YouTube blow up, then we'll shout you out then.
Yeah, that could be my first post on Instagram. I most of my Twitter is just complaining about Kentucky basketball.
There you go. Hey,
or other various sports. So
there you go. All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening or watching. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week to preview our little golf match that we got going on in 10 days. And then we'll be back that next week to kind of recap the whole thing. So thanks everyone. We appreciate everyone out there who listens and watches. We can't thank you enough for joining us for this ride. And we will see you next week. Thanks everybody.
Swing hard, everyone.
Oh, it's not a cut. That's a slice.
Now this is a quack hook.
Oh,
Short
wow.
and into the right rough, headed to the trees.
Oh my God, it's a shake. He decided to re-tee. That's a shake.